Students, now I'm going to discuss about the data types in C language. So what is the need of data types? So in generally C programming language, without declaration of any variable, the variable cannot be accepted because the C compiler knows only 32 reserved keywords. But I want to use my own words in the program. It is mandatory to declare those variables in the program with the help of data types in C programming language, right? So now data types are used to declare user defined words. These may be variables or constants in the C programming language, right? What is the data type? It specifies two things about the variable and constant. One is which type of value the variable can store, and second one is how much memory can be needed for the to store the particular value. That is, how much memory is allotted to the variable. These two things will be given to the compiler by the specifying the data type in the program. Means integer A means INTA. It indicates that A is a variable, it stores integer value and it requires 2 bytes of memory space. That is the need of data types in C programming language. Example, C equals to A plus B, A plus, just now we explained, A, B, C must be declared. If int A comma B comma C, yes, we are giving the information that I want to use A, B, C words in my program. For this, for individual variable, allocate some memory and I want to store only integer value. Right? This is the need of data types in C programming language. Now, types of data types. There are 3 categories of the data types are available. One is a primary data type, which are already defined, and fundamental data types in C are also called as a built-in data types. These are called as a character data type, integral data type, floating point data type, and void data type. And derived data types are which are having some structure. By using those structure, we are defining some special elements. Those elements are maybe arrays or maybe pointers, maybe functions. But we are following some structure of the structure. That is the concept of the derived data types: arrays, functions, and pointers. User-defined data types. These are defined by the user or the programmer whenever the user required. Right? For example, I want to use a student data type. In my class, I have 60 students are there. I want to declare student S1, S2, S3. There is no student data type. But I want to define that type of data types. You can use user-defined data types. Structures, unions, and enumerations are called as a user-defined data type. Now I am going for the primary data types in depth. What is the primary data types? The primary data types are again classified into 4 categories: character data type, integer data type, floating point data type, void data type. Void is also called as a nothing data type elements. Now we'll discuss about what is nothing data type. So in generally functions we are using that void main. So void is a nothing, 0 size, and no value is assigned for that particular variable, is called as a void data type. Basically, this void data type is used for the functions only. Right? So void is used as a return data type of the function. We are using nothing data type. It does not occupy any size and does not stores any value into that. That is called as a no value and no size data type is called as a nothing data type is called as a void data type. And then second, I will go for the character data type. So the character data type, which is used to store only characters, A, B, C's, or 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 is not in numbers. 1, for example, 1, 0 is not in. 1 is a separate number, 0 is a separate. These are 2 individual characters. 256, 2 is a separate character, 5 is a separate character, 6 is a separate character. That is called character data type, stores only single character. In C language, we have total 256 characters are available. Those are also having a individual ASCII numbers for individual characters. So now just discuss about the character data type. What is the character data type? It occupies 1 byte of information and the range of character data type is minus 128 to plus 127. Total equals to 256. It may be capital A, it may be small a, it may be capital Z, it may be small z, it may be plus symbol, it may be minus. Everything is included between minus 128 to plus 127. For capital A, the ASCII number is called as a 65. Like that, every character of your keyboard which are using in your C program having a special number is called as a ASCII number in the character data type. Then second one is called as a signed character. The signed character is exactly same as a character data type. It also occupies only 1 byte of information and range is in minus 128 to plus 127. And unsigned characters is there is no negative numbers, only positive characters, positive ASCII numbers are available 0 to 255. This is about the character data type. But consider that every character data type will uses only 1 byte is a size will be needed to store the any character into that. That is called 8 bits is enough to store the character data types. This is about the in primary data type we have character data type. Then second one is called as a integer data type. In integer data type we have the two types of the 6 categories are available. A normal integer will take only 2 bytes of memory space. But here we have some different types of integer data types: signed int, unsigned int, signed short integer, unsigned short integer, signed long integer and unsigned long integer. And we can also use int, short int, long int. Also we can use. So the total is 9. Int, short int, long int, signed int, unsigned short int, signed long int, unsigned short int, unsigned long int. Total 9. So what are the data types and memory? The range and the size of the integer data type is, the size is accepting 2 bytes or 8 bits of 16 bits, and range is minus 32,768 to plus 32,767. This is the range. Means if you are declaring any variable int, for example int a, we can store that 32,767 or a equals to minus 32,768. This one is accepted, this one is accepted, between these two also accepted, means a equals to 15 is also accepted, a equals to 30,000 also accepted. For example, I given that a equals to 40,000 is wrong. A equals to even 32,769 also not possible, because these are the out of range values, because our range is between minus 32,768 to plus 32,767. So because of that reason these numbers are not accepted. This is called as a integer range. For the same thing we can go for the unsigned integer. So for unsigned integers, the same, signed means both negatives and positive. If it is signed integer, there is no negative number, only positive. 0 to 65,535 means 0 to 2 power 16 minus 1. It indicates that here it is also accepted, this one also accepted, and this one also accepted, but this is not accepted. Why? It is not called as a sign, minus is there, but we are discussing about the unsigned, so it is not accepted. So because of that reason we can't use the negative numbers in here. Then short integer, for example, I want to store only a equals to 10. A equals to 10 is a very less number compared to 32,000 and these numbers. So because of that reason I want to reduce the memory space which is occupied. Means from 2 bytes is memory allocated, but I want to use reduce. For that purpose I am using also a short integer purpose. So the short integer will take only 1 byte of information. Range is minus 128 to plus 127. Here the value can store only minus 128 to plus 127. The same 0 to 255 means for a equals to 10, short integer is enough. A equals to 25, short integer is enough. A equals to 45, enough. Right? This is about the short integer. For example, I want to store more than 65,000 value here. I want to store more than 32,767, or I want to use negative number. minus 40,000. For this it is not possible by using this. Then I am going for the long integers. For the long integer, the range starts from minus 2 power 31 to plus 2 power 31 minus 1 means these many numbers. Right? So then this also. For this, for the long values, the lengthy numbers, we can go for the long integer values. This is about the integral data type or integer data type. So first one, int, short int, long integer. Integer is 2 bytes, short integer is 1 byte, long integer is 4 bytes. Then signed integer, signed short integer, signed long integer, both are equal as a same. Now unsigned means there is no negatives available, only positives are available. In the short integer, only up to 255 is available, or minus 128 to 127. But whenever you are going for the integer, 2 bytes, 0 to 65,535 or 32,000 to plus 32,000 change. This is about the integer. But I want to stay more than 65,000, more than 32,000, we are going for the long integer. Long integer, it occupies 4 bytes of memory space. This is about the integer data type. Then float. The float are divided into 4 categories: floating point data type, float, double and long double. Floats are real numbers. Real numbers means 10.25, like that I want to save. Then for the 4 bytes of memory, the range is 3.4 epsilon minus 38 to 3.4 epsilon plus 38. Right? Double 8 bytes, 1.7 e minus 308 epsilon to 1.7 e epsilon. Long double, 10 bytes of memory will be taken. So the simple difference between float and double is float also stores real number, double also stores real number. It occupies 4 bytes, it occupies 8 bytes. The 4 bytes are given for this, but 2 bytes of the second integer size, 2 bytes for the decimal side. 6 decimals will be accepted in the float, that is 34.000000 will be accepted. 24.245 also given, it is taken as a 4 are remaining. Means, for example, I given that a equals to 34.00 or a equals to 21.45. I have given that these two values. I have given that these two values, but the output is displayed like 34.0000, 24.4500. This is called as a float. 6 decimal places will be considered. But whenever go for double, the same 34, what we are giving, only 2 decimals will be taken in the double, 3400, 24.45. This is about the floating point data types. So finally we can see that all the data types will get together. So there are primary data types are nothing data type, no memory space and no values are accepted. Character data type, character 1 byte, short character 1, signed character 1 byte, unsigned character also 1 byte, but the ranges will be different. Then integer data types, int, short int, long integer. It may be signed integer, it may be a signed short integer, signed long integer. And unsigned integer, unsigned short integer, unsigned long integer. Integer will take 2 bytes of memory space. The range is from here to here. And it means maximum value is 32,767. For unsigned, 65,535. I want to go for extended value, you can go for the long integer. 4 bytes of memory will be accepted. So this is the range of the long integer. If you want to take the less memory, for this I want to store the less value, then you can go for the integer. Only value accepted from minus 128 to plus 127 and value accepted from 0 to 255. And the third one is called as a floating point data type. Floating means 4 bytes of memory, 8 bytes of memory and 10 bytes. Here the float means only 6 decimal places compulsory will be accepted, but in the double only 2 decimal places will be accepted. For the prices, for the purpose we are going for the double, for the statistical purpose we can go for the float. This is about the primary data types in your C programming language. And the second one is called as integer. Just take an example, integer a equals 10, b equals like that, the value will be copied. If it is a double, 10.56, but if it is a float, 6 decimals. Character, a single character will be takes. Right? This is a simple example. 2 bytes occupies, 4 bytes, 1 byte and 8 bytes. Then control structures. If I want to use integer data type, we can use %d, float or double %f, character %c, string %ls. Like that we have some controller format strings we can use in the scanf statement or printf statement. Now consider the simple example program. A equals 10, b equals to something, c equals something and d equals something. I have given some values and I'm displaying the values. If I am displaying these values, a value 10, b value I am given 23.55, but it displayed as 6 decimals. C equals to X is given, X is displayed. D, only 2 decimals are given, exactly 2 decimals will be displayed. This is the example program for the predefined data types, elements or primary data types. And then arrays, functions and pointers are called derived data types, which are having some syntax. By using them, we can use array is a collection of similar data type elements. We can store one element into a single variable. Functions is also self-contained block of statements to perform a particular task. Pointer can store address of the another variable. These are the having some predefined structure, but we can use in our programs as per our requirement. Then user-defined data types, which are defined by user, which are called as our own data types. Right? By using structure, union, enum, we can declare or we can define our own data types, just like int, float, and so on. Right? So all these topics of the derived data types, arrays, functions, pointers, we have the in-depth description in the Unit 3, and structures, unions, enumerations are discussed in the Unit 4. We have the in-depth description about the structures, union, enums in the Unit 4, and these 3 arrays, functions, pointers in the Unit 3. But the most important primary data types you have to remember, this is about the primary data types: character data type, integer, float, and void. And then derived data types are arrays, functions, and pointers. And user defined data types, structures, union, and enumerations. This is about the data types of C language.